You are living inside a reality that responds to you. Not eventually, not someday, right now. Every thought you hold, every emotion you embody, every belief you carry is being transmitted into the quantum field, and the field is answering back with perfect precision. What if I told you that the universe isn't some distant force you need to beg or plead with, but rather a faithful servant waiting to fulfill the frequency you're broadcasting? And here's the part that changes everything. It doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your energetic signature. The vibration you emit becomes the template for what materializes in your physical experience. This isn't wishful thinking. This is the mechanics of manifestation, operating at the deepest level of reality itself. Before we dive deeper, take a moment right now and comment below with this declaration. I am a conscious creator. Not because it sounds nice, but because by speaking it into the field, you're interrupting the old pattern and signaling to the quantum matrix that you're ready to remember who you've always been. You've been living under the assumption that manifestation is about doing more, forcing more, controlling more. You've been taught to chase your desires, to hustle for your dreams, to make things happen through sheer willpower and relentless action. But what if the entire paradigm is inverted? What if creation doesn't work through force, but through resonance? What if the universe operates not as an obstacle to overcome, but as a mirror reflecting back the exact frequency you're holding in your consciousness? This is where most teachings on manifestation fall short. They focus on techniques, on affirmations repeated without belief, on vision boards created without embodiment. They treat the universe like a vending machine where you insert the right combination of words and out pops your desire. But the universe doesn't function through transactional mechanics. It functions through vibrational alignment. It reads the signal beneath your signal, the feeling beneath your words, the truth beneath your intention. Let me take you into the architecture of how this actually works. Every emotion you experience generates an electromagnetic frequency. This isn't metaphor. This is measurable science. Your heart produces an electromagnetic field that extends several feet beyond your body, and this field carries information. It carries the signature of your dominant emotional state. When you exist in a state of lack, of wanting, of desperation, you're broadcasting a frequency that says, I don't have this. And the universe, being the perfect servant it is, responds by creating more experiences that match that frequency. More situations where you don't have what you want. More circumstances that validate your sense of absence. But here's where it gets profound. The moment you shift your internal frequency to match the feeling of already having what you desire, the universe must rearrange itself to reflect that new signal. Not because you're manipulating reality, but because you've changed the blueprint you're transmitting. You've altered the template, and reality has no choice but to reorganize around your new vibrational signature. Think about a woman named Elena who spent years praying for financial abundance. Every morning she would sit and ask the universe for money, for opportunities, for relief from her financial stress. Yet despite her dedication to this practice, her circumstances remained unchanged. Why? Because beneath her words was a frequency of desperation. Her prayers carried the energy of, I need this because I don't have it. And the universe, responding to her energetic broadcast rather than her verbal request, kept delivering experiences that matched that frequency of lack. One evening, exhausted from trying, Elena stopped asking altogether. She sat in her small apartment, and instead of focusing on what she didn't have, she began to feel genuine appreciation for what was already present. The warmth of her tea, the softness of the blanket around her shoulders, the quiet safety of her space. As she stayed in this feeling of appreciation, something shifted inside her. Not in her circumstances yet, but in her internal climate. She began to feel abundant, not because anything external had changed, but because she had changed the lens through which she was experiencing her life. Within 3 weeks, opportunities began appearing that had never been there before. A former colleague reached out with a job offer. An unexpected refund arrived in the mail. A creative project she had abandoned suddenly found funding. The universe hadn't suddenly decided to help her. The universe had been responding to her frequency all along. And the moment she changed that frequency, reality shifted to match it. This is the mechanism most people miss. They keep repeating affirmations from a place of emptiness, wondering why nothing changes. They keep visualizing their desires while feeling the absence of them, confused about why manifestation isn't working. But manifestation is always working. It's working with perfect precision. It's just that most people are manifesting from the wrong signal. You see, the universe doesn't distinguish between what you want and what you don't want. It only reads the frequency you're emitting. If you spend your days focused on debt, the universe doesn't hear, "I want to be free of debt." It hears debt, 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 and responds by creating more experiences related to debt. If you focus on loneliness, the universe doesn't decode that as "I want connection." It receives the signal of loneliness and generates more situations where you feel alone. This is why the ancient wisdom traditions have always taught that attention is creative power. Where you place your awareness, energy flows. And where energy flows, manifestation grows. Not through force, not through manipulation, but through the natural law of resonance. If this understanding is shifting something in your awareness right now, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you stay connected to this frequency of conscious creation. Now let's go deeper into how your emotional frequency becomes your creative command. Imagine your consciousness as a radio transmitter. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, adjusts the dial of this transmitter. When you hold a thought without resistance, when you feel an emotion with full presence, you're sending out a clear signal into the quantum field. And the field responds by collapsing probability waves into matching experiences. Consider someone named Marcus, who ran a small bookshop that was struggling to stay open. Month after month, he watched his sales decline, his stress increase, his hope diminish. He tried everything he could think of at the practical level. New marketing strategies, different pricing, extended hours. But nothing seemed to shift the trajectory. One morning, sitting alone in his empty store, Marcus had a realization. He noticed that every time he thought about his business, he felt a knot of anxiety in his chest. Every time a customer walked in, he felt a desperate need for them to buy something. His entire energetic field was saturated with worry. That day, Marcus decided to try something different. Instead of focusing on the sales he needed to make, he began focusing on the feeling he wanted to experience. He closed his eyes and imagined the sensation of success, not the external trappings, but the internal feeling, the relaxation, the confidence, the joy of knowing everything was working out. He sat with this feeling for 20 minutes, allowing it to fill his body, letting it become more real than his current circumstances. Then he went about his day, doing the same tasks he always did, but from this new internal state. He greeted customers with genuine warmth instead of hidden desperation. He organized his shelves with care instead of anxiety. He closed his shop at the end of the day with peace instead of dread. And here's what happened. Within 2 months, his business completely turned around. Not because he changed his strategy, not because he worked harder, but because he changed his frequency. And the universe responded to that new signal by orchestrating circumstances that matched it. A local book club discovered his shop and began hosting their meetings there. A travel blogger wrote about his store, bringing in tourists. Longtime customers started referring their friends. The external world rearranged itself because his internal world had transformed. This brings us to a crucial understanding about the nature of universal servanthood. The universe is not judging your desires. It's not evaluating whether you deserve what you're asking for. It's simply responding to the signal you're broadcasting. This is why two people can take the same action and get completely different results. It's not the action that determines the outcome. It's the frequency from which the action is taken. When you move through life from a frequency of trust, of abundance, of knowing that everything is working in your favor, the universe must reflect that back to you. When you move through life from a frequency of fear, of scarcity, of believing that life is hard and success is rare, the universe must reflect that back as well. Not as punishment, not as karma, but as the natural operation of the law of resonance. Here's where responsibility enters the picture. Once you understand that you're not a victim of circumstances, but the creator of your experience through your vibrational signature, everything changes. You can no longer blame external conditions for your internal state. You can no longer wait for something outside of you to change before you allow yourself to feel differently. You must become the one who shifts first. This is the master key that most people never receive. They keep waiting for evidence before they believe. They keep waiting for the manifestation before they embody the frequency. But that's backwards. The embodiment must come first. The frequency must shift before the form can follow. Think about a gardener who plants seeds in the soil. Does the gardener dig up the seeds every day to check if they're growing? Does the gardener panic when the sprout doesn't appear immediately? No. The gardener trusts the process. The gardener knows that beneath the surface, invisible forces are at work. The seed is breaking open. Roots are forming. Growth is happening, even though nothing is visible yet. Your desires are the same. When you plant them in the field of consciousness through clear intention and emotional alignment, they begin to take form in the invisible realm immediately. But most people panic during the germination period. They start doubting. They start questioning. They start wondering if it's working. And in that doubt, they uproot the seed before it has a chance to break through the soil. This is why certainty is more powerful than hope. Hope says maybe it will happen. Certainty says it's already done in the unseen, and I'm simply waiting for it to materialize in the seen. When you hold that level of knowing, you stop interfering with the process. You stop checking for evidence. You stop forcing and controlling. You simply maintain the frequency and allow the universe to orchestrate the details. Now let's explore what happens when you try to manifest from a place of ego rather than alignment. There's a woman named Victoria who learned about manifestation and immediately began using it to try to outshine others in her field. She wanted recognition, status, superiority. She visualized herself receiving awards, being praised, standing above her colleagues. And here's what's fascinating. The universe gave her exactly what she was asking for. Opportunities came. Recognition arrived. But instead of fulfillment, she felt empty. Instead of joy, she felt isolated. Why? Because her intention was rooted in separation, not in service. Her desire was about taking, not about giving. The universe will always respond to your frequency, but when that frequency is rooted in ego, in competition, in scarcity consciousness, the manifestations that arrive will carry that same signature. They'll feel hollow. They'll create more problems than they solve. They'll leave you wondering why success doesn't feel the way you thought it would. This is the hidden teaching that rarely gets discussed. Manifestation is not just about getting what you want. It's about becoming someone whose desires are in alignment with the highest good. It's about evolving to a level of consciousness where what you want naturally contributes to the whole. When your manifestations uplift others, when your abundance creates space for others to thrive, when your success becomes a catalyst for collective elevation, that's when the universe moves mountains to support you. A man named David discovered this principle through experience. He was gifted in technology, able to create solutions that could help thousands of people. But for years, he hoarded his knowledge. He kept his techniques secret. He wanted to maintain his advantage, to stay ahead of the competition. And while he experienced some success, it felt like he was constantly pushing against resistance. Opportunities would appear and then vanish. Projects would start and then stall. The universe was reflecting back the energy of his closed fist. One day, inspired by a moment of clarity, David decided to share everything he knew. He started teaching for free. He published his methods online. He helped aspiring developers learn what had taken him years to master. And from that moment, his entire trajectory changed. Collaborations appeared out of nowhere. Funding materialized for projects he had given up on. Doors opened that he didn't even know existed. Not because he was now deserving, but because his frequency had shifted from scarcity to abundance, from hoarding to sharing, from separation to connection. The universe responds not just to what you want, but to why you want it, and to the consciousness from which you're asking. Let's talk about something most people get wrong about manifestation: the relationship between emotion and creation. You've probably heard that you need to feel good to manifest. But that's not quite accurate. What you need is emotional coherence. You need the feeling beneath your desire to match the frequency of already having it. This is different from forcing yourself to be happy when you're not. This is different from suppressing difficult emotions in the name of positivity. Emotional coherence means that when you think about your desire, you feel the relief of its completion. You feel the peace of knowing it's handled. You feel the gratitude of experiencing it, even though it hasn't materialized yet. This is not delusion. This is alignment. Because in the quantum field, time is not linear. The version of you who already has what you desire exists right now in a parallel probability. And when you match that frequency, you begin to collapse that probability into your current timeline. A woman named Iris was a painter who had been trying for years to get her work into galleries. She would submit portfolio after portfolio, attend every event, network endlessly. But nothing was opening up. One evening, feeling defeated, she stopped trying altogether. She went into her studio not to create something to sell, but simply to create for the joy of it. She painted what moved her, without concern for whether anyone would buy it. And something remarkable happened. As she painted from this place of pure creative joy, She felt the satisfaction she had been seeking through external validation. She felt successful not because galleries had accepted her, but because she was in love with the act of creation itself. Within weeks, a gallery owner who had rejected her before walked into a coffee shop where one of her paintings was hanging. The owner didn't remember Iris's name, but the painting stopped her in her tracks. She asked the barista who created it, tracked Iris down, and offered her a solo exhibition. The external circumstances hadn't changed because Iris had become more skilled as a painter. They changed because she had shifted from creating from need to creating from fulfillment. And that shift in frequency reorganized reality. This is the subtle magic that operates beneath the surface of manifestation. The universe is not responding to your skill level. It's not responding to how hard you're trying. It's responding to the quality of your presence, the coherence of your field, the frequency you're embodying. Now, if what I'm sharing is touching something deep inside you, if this feels like a remembering rather than new information, then I invite you to subscribe, not just to this channel, but to this frequency. Because the more you immerse yourself in this understanding, the more you surround yourself with this perspective, the faster your reality will begin to reflect it. Hit that subscribe button, not to consume content, but to stay anchored in this space of conscious creation. There's another layer to this that rarely gets explored: the role of stillness in manifestation. Most people think manifestation is about doing more, affirming more, visualizing more. But the most powerful creative force is the space between the doing. It's the moment of complete surrender, where you release all attachment to outcome and simply rest in the knowing that the universe is handling it. Consider a merchant named Samuel who had lost everything in a business failure. For months, he paced his empty warehouse, making desperate plans, trying to force solutions, calling every contact he knew. His mind was in constant motion, spinning with anxiety, generating strategy after strategy. But nothing was working. Then one night, completely exhausted, Samuel stopped. He sat in the silence of his warehouse, and for the first time in months, he wasn't trying to fix anything. He wasn't planning or plotting. He was just present. And in that stillness, a quiet knowing washed over him. Not an idea, not a strategy, just a gentle certainty that everything would work out. From that moment, something shifted. The next morning, a former business partner called with an unexpected proposition. By the end of the week, 3 different opportunities had appeared, each one better than anything Samuel could have engineered through his frantic doing. The universe hadn't suddenly changed its mind about helping him. Samuel had finally stopped interfering with the flow of universal intelligence by trying to control every detail. He had surrendered, and in that surrender, he allowed the universe to move through him rather than trying to move it himself. This is the paradox of conscious creation. The less you force, the more power flows. The more you relax into trust, the faster things manifest. Because manifestation is not about muscling reality into submission. It's about aligning with the current that's already moving in your favor and allowing it to carry you. Take a moment and share below. What's one area of your life where you're ready to shift from forcing to allowing? Writing it creates energetic momentum. Let's explore the concept of vibrational specificity. The universe responds with precision, but it requires clarity from you. Not necessarily clarity about every detail of how your desire will manifest, but clarity about the essence of what you're calling in. What does it feel like? What's the energetic signature of having it? What's the quality of experience you're seeking? Someone named Helena wanted to manifest a new home. For months, she visualized specific houses, specific neighborhoods, specific features, but nothing was manifesting. Then she shifted her approach. Instead of focusing on the external details, she tuned into the feeling she wanted to experience in her new home. Safety, peace, beauty, a sense of arrival. She would close her eyes and saturate herself in these feelings, letting them become more real than her current living situation. Within 6 weeks, a home appeared that she had never seen on any listing. It wasn't exactly what she had been visualizing in terms of details, but it was an exact match for the feelings she had been embodying. The universe delivered the essence of her desire with perfect precision. This teaches us something crucial. Don't be overly attached to the form. Be devoted to the frequency. The how is the universe's responsibility. Your responsibility is maintaining the vibrational match to what you're calling in. Now here's something that will shift your entire understanding of manifestation. Gratitude is not just a nice practice, it's a creative force. When you feel genuine gratitude for something that hasn't materialized yet, you're sending a signal to the quantum field that says this is already done. You're operating from the end point rather than the starting point. And the field, reading that signal, begins to collapse the timeline between where you are and where you're going. A healer named Thomas was struggling with chronic health issues that doctors couldn't diagnose or treat. He spent years in a cycle of frustration, anger, and despair. Then someone suggested he try thanking his body for the healing that was already happening in the invisible. At first, it felt ridiculous. His symptoms were still present. Nothing had changed. But Thomas committed to the practice anyway. Every morning, he would place his hand on his heart and genuinely thank his body for its perfect health, for its innate wisdom, for the healing that was unfolding beneath the surface. Something fascinating began to happen. His symptoms didn't disappear immediately, but his relationship to them changed. He stopped fighting them. He stopped living in fear of them. And as he relaxed into trust and gratitude, his body began to respond. Slowly at first, then more rapidly, his health improved. Tests that had shown abnormalities began coming back normal. Energy that had been depleted began to return. His healing didn't come through a magic pill or a dramatic intervention. It came through the shift in his energetic signature from resistance to appreciation. Gratitude is not about denying what's difficult. It's about acknowledging the intelligence that's orchestrating solutions even when you can't see them yet. It's about trusting the process at a level deeper than your current circumstances. Let me share something about the architecture of belief and how it shapes your manifestation capacity. Every assumption you hold about reality becomes a filter through which you experience life. If you assume that good things are hard to come by, the universe will present you with experiences that validate that assumption. If you assume that life supports you, that opportunities are abundant, that the right people and circumstances show up at the right time, the universe will reflect that back as well. There was a craftsman named Harold who had internalized the belief that success required struggle. He had been taught that anything worth having must be earned through hardship, through suffering, through proving yourself. And his life reflected that belief perfectly. Every goal he achieved came through immense difficulty. Every opportunity required sacrifice. Every win was preceded by painful loss. One afternoon, watching a bird build its nest, Harold had a sudden realization. The bird wasn't struggling. It wasn't forcing. It was simply following its nature, and everything it needed appeared at the right moment. What if life could be like that? What if ease was possible? What if the universe actually wanted to support him rather than test him? That thought opened a crack in his old belief system, and through that crack, new experiences began to enter. Small at first, a project that completed smoothly, a conversation that led to an opportunity without effort. Then larger manifestations, a business partnership that felt collaborative rather than competitive, financial abundance that arrived through joy rather than strain. His external world was reorganizing because his internal assumption about how life works had fundamentally shifted. This is the power of examining your core beliefs, not to judge them, but to recognize them as the invisible architecture that's shaping your experience. When you identify a limiting belief, you don't have to fight it. You simply have to choose a new one and begin to embody it. The universe will meet you there. Now, what we're exploring today is just one thread in a much larger tapestry of frequency mastery. If you're feeling called to go deeper into how your consciousness operates as a broadcast system, into the complete framework of the 9 master frequencies and how to shift from unconscious transmission to conscious creation, I've compiled everything into Beyond the Frequencies, a quantum guide to consciousness mastery. It's the full system for moving from manifestation as effort to embodiment as your natural state. You'll find it linked in the pinned comment below. Here's what rarely gets taught about the manifestation process. There's a sacred pause between planting the seed and seeing the sprout. During that pause, most people panic. They think nothing is happening. They start doubting whether it's working. They begin to interfere with the process by checking constantly for evidence. But this pause is not emptiness. It's gestation. It's the invisible realm doing its work. Every desire you hold with clear intention and emotional alignment immediately begins to take form in the quantum field. But form-taking requires time. It requires the coordination of countless variables. It requires the universe to orchestrate people, circumstances, timing, resources in perfect synchrony. Your job during the pause is not to force. It's not to worry. It's not to manipulate. Your job is to maintain the frequency, to hold the vision, to trust the intelligence that's arranging everything behind the scenes. A musician named Juliet understood this principle deeply. She had a vision for an album that felt divinely inspired, but she had no funding, no label support, no clear path to bringing it into reality. Instead of panicking or giving up, Juliet treated her vision like a seed planted in fertile soil. She tended to it daily through her practice, through her creative process, through maintaining the feeling of completion even though nothing external had manifested yet. She didn't talk about it obsessively. She didn't check her email every hour hoping for a miracle. She simply stayed in creative flow, trusting that the universe was orchestrating the perfect timing. 7 months later, a series of synchronicities unfolded that seemed impossible. A producer she had met years ago reached out randomly. A grant she had forgotten she applied for came through. A studio offered her free recording time because of a last-minute cancellation. Within 3 months, her album was complete. But the magic wasn't in the external events. The magic was in her unwavering trust during the pause, her ability to maintain her frequency without needing immediate validation. This is where most people fail in manifestation. They give up during the pause. They interpret the silence as absence rather than gestation. But the universe is always working on your behalf, always coordinating, always preparing. Your trust during the invisible phase is what allows the visible phase to emerge. Now, before we go further, I want you to take a moment and drop one word in the comments below. Just one word that captures the energy or intention you're choosing to embody as you move forward from this moment. Not something you're hoping for, not something you wish you felt, but the energy you're consciously selecting right now. This isn't just engagement. This is you signing your energetic signature to the quantum field, declaring who you're becoming. Let's talk about the mirror principle, because this is where manifestation gets really interesting. The external world is not happening to you. It's happening from you. Every person you encounter, every situation you experience, every circumstance that unfolds is reflecting back some aspect of your internal state. This doesn't mean you're to blame for difficult experiences. It means you have power. Because if the external is a mirror of the internal, then changing the internal changes the reflection. Someone named Bonnie noticed that everywhere she went, people were critical and dismissive. At work, at home, in random interactions, she felt constantly judged. She tried, changing her environment, switching jobs, cutting off relationships, but the pattern followed her. Finally, a moment of insight stopped her in her tracks. She realized that the harshest critic in her life wasn't external. It was the voice inside her own head. She spoke to herself with such severity, such judgment, such dismissal, that she had created an energetic field of criticism. And the universe, being the perfect mirror it is, kept reflecting that frequency back through her external experiences. Bonnie began a new practice. Every time she noticed self-judgment arising, she paused. She spoke to herself with the same gentleness she would offer a dear friend. She chose appreciation over criticism, curiosity over condemnation. And as her internal dialogue shifted, something astonishing happened. The people in her life began treating her differently. The same colleague who had been critical was suddenly supportive. The same family member who had been dismissive was suddenly interested. The external world hadn't changed people. She had changed her frequency, and the mirror had no choice but to reflect the new signal. This is the transformative power of taking responsibility for your vibrational output. Not from a place of guilt or shame, but from a place of empowerment. When you recognize that you're the one generating the field, you reclaim your power to shift it. Here's a dimension of manifestation that often gets overlooked: the role of allowing versus controlling. Most people approach their desires with a clenched fist. They try to force outcomes, manipulate timelines, control every variable. But manifestation flows through an open hand, not a closed one. Allowing doesn't mean being passive. It means being receptive. It means creating space for the universe to deliver in ways that are often better than what you could have planned. There was a woman named Violet who spent years trying to micromanage every aspect of her life. She had detailed plans for her career, her relationships, her finances, and every time something didn't go according to plan, she would panic and try to force it back on track. Her life felt like a constant battle, a never-ending effort to keep everything under control. Then one day, exhausted from the fight, Violet surrendered, not in defeat, but in trust. She realized that perhaps the universe had a bigger picture than what her limited perspective could see. She made a simple but radical shift. Instead of trying to control how her desires manifested, she focused on maintaining the feeling of what she wanted to experience. Then she released the details. She let go of the timeline. She stopped dictating the path. And in that space of allowing, magic began to unfold. Opportunities appeared that were far better than anything she had tried to engineer. Relationships deepened in ways she couldn't have predicted. Resources flowed through channels she didn't even know existed. Violet's life didn't improve because she started working harder or planning better. It improved because she stopped blocking the flow of universal intelligence with her need to control. This brings us to a profound realization. You are not separate from the universe. You are not negotiating with an external force. You are an expression of the universe experiencing itself. When you manifest, you're not convincing some distant power to give you what you want. You're aligning different aspects of yourself, bringing your conscious mind into coherence with the deeper intelligence that's always been orchestrating your life. The universe is not outside of you, evaluating whether you deserve your desires. The universe is working through you, as you, expressing itself through the unique form of your consciousness. When you understand this, manifestation stops being about asking and starts being about alignment. It stops being about worthiness and starts being about recognition. You're not trying to earn the universe's favor. You're remembering that you are the universe in human form, and everything you desire is already within the field of infinite possibility, waiting for you to match its frequency. Let me take you deeper into the mechanics of emotional signature. Your emotions are not just reactions to circumstances. They are creative broadcasts. Every emotion generates a specific frequency, and that frequency acts as an instruction to the quantum field. When you feel joy, you're not just experiencing a pleasant sensation. You're sending out a signal that says more of this. And the universe responds by generating circumstances that produce more joy. When you feel fear, you're broadcasting, "Protect me from this." And the universe responds by creating situations that validate the need for protection. This is why dwelling in worry is so counterproductive to manifestation. You think you're being cautious, preparing for problems. But energetically, you're instructing the field to create the very scenarios you're worried about. This doesn't mean you should suppress fear or pretend difficult emotions don't exist. It means you should process them, feel them fully, then consciously choose the frequency you want to transmit moving forward. A business owner named Franklin discovered this when his company was going through a crisis. Every morning, he would walk into the office bracing for conflict, expecting problems, preparing for the worst. And without fail, problems would appear. Meetings would dissolve into arguments. Projects would hit unexpected obstacles. His expectation of difficulty was literally calling it into being. One day, after learning about the power of emotional frequency, Franklin tried something radically different. Before entering the office, he would sit in his car and deliberately cultivate a feeling of calm, of trust, of knowing that solutions were already on their way. He didn't deny the challenges they were facing, but he refused to marinate in the frequency of crisis. He chose to hold the frequency of resolution instead. Within 2 weeks, the entire atmosphere of the office had shifted. The same people who had been at each other's throats were suddenly collaborating. The same problems that had seemed insurmountable suddenly had obvious solutions. Franklin had not changed the external circumstances through some miraculous power. He had changed his internal frequency, and because he was the leader, his frequency influenced the collective field of the organization. The universe responded to his shift by orchestrating cooperative circumstances. This reveals something crucial. Your frequency doesn't just affect your individual experience. It ripples out and influences the field around you. When you maintain a high, coherent frequency, you become a tuning fork that helps others elevate their frequency as well. This is true leadership. This is genuine service. Not trying to fix people, but holding a frequency so clear that it naturally invites others into greater alignment. Now let's explore the relationship between specificity and surrender in manifestation. There's a balance here that many people struggle to find. On one hand, the universe responds to clarity. The more specific you are about the essence of what you want, the more precisely it can deliver. On the other hand, if you're too attached to exactly how it must look, you limit the universe's ability to bring you something even better than what you imagined. A woman named Flora wanted to manifest a romantic partnership. She had a long list of specific attributes, specific circumstances, even a specific timeline. But nothing was manifesting. Then she had a realization. She was trying to design the universe's delivery system. She was so focused on the details that she was creating resistance around the broader desire, so Flora changed her approach. She got crystal clear on the feeling she wanted to experience in partnership. Deep trust, genuine joy, shared vision, mutual respect. Then she released all attachment to what it would look like, when it would arrive, or how they would meet. Within a month, she met someone who exceeded everything on her original list, but in completely unexpected ways. The relationship appeared through a series of synchronicities she could never have orchestrated. The universe delivered the essence of her desire with precision, but the form it took was far more beautiful than anything she had tried to manufacture through control. This is the dance of conscious creation. Be specific about the frequency. Be surrendered about the form. Trust that universal intelligence has access to possibilities you haven't even conceived of. Let's talk about worthiness, because this is where so many people block their own manifestations. There's a pervasive belief that you have to earn the right to receive, that you have to prove yourself deserving through some metric of achievement or moral purity. But the universe doesn't operate through judgment. It operates through resonance. You don't have to deserve abundance. You have to allow it. You don't have to earn love. You have to open to it. Consider someone named Harvey who grew up with messages of limitation. He was taught to shrink, to not take up too much space, to question whether he deserved good things. Every compliment felt uncomfortable. Every success triggered guilt. He was unconsciously rejecting blessings because he didn't believe he had permission to receive them. This pattern continued until Harvey recognized what was happening. He saw that his worthiness wasn't the issue. The universe didn't need convincing. He did. He had to give himself permission to receive. Harvey began a simple practice. Every morning, he would place his hand on his heart and say, "I am worthy of ease. I am worthy of joy. I am worthy of abundance. I give myself full permission to receive." At first, it felt like empty words, but he stayed consistent, and gradually, something shifted. He began accepting compliments with grace. He allowed opportunities to come easily. He stopped questioning every good thing that appeared. And as he opened to receiving, the floodgates opened. Not because the universe finally deemed him worthy, but because he had removed the energetic barrier of his own permission. This is the hidden key. Worthiness is not something you achieve. It's something you recognize. You were born worthy. You've always been worthy. The question is not whether you deserve your desires. The question is whether you're allowing yourself to receive them. Now here's something crucial about the timing of manifestation. The universe operates on divine timing, not human impatience. What feels like delay to you is often divine positioning to the universe. Things are being coordinated behind the scenes that you can't see. People are being prepared. Circumstances are being arranged. Resources are being gathered. The pause is not punishment. It's preparation. A musician named Jerome wanted to launch his career for years. He kept pushing, kept trying, kept wondering why doors weren't opening. Then he surrendered the timeline. He stopped measuring his worth by external validation and started creating simply because he loved it. And during that period of release, while nothing seemed to be happening externally, everything was being set up invisibly. Connections were being made. Opportunities were being prepared. When the timing aligned, everything exploded into manifestation simultaneously. A chance meeting, an unexpected collaboration, a viral moment. All the pieces that had been gathering in the invisible suddenly materialized in perfect coordination. Jerome hadn't been ready earlier. His skill was developing. His mindset was maturing. His frequency was stabilizing. The delay wasn't the universe withholding. It was the universe protecting him from manifesting before he was truly prepared to hold it. This is why trust is essential. Not blind faith that everything will work out exactly as you imagine, but deep trust that universal intelligence sees the bigger picture and is orchestrating everything for your highest good. When you trust divine timing, you stop forcing, you stop panicking, you maintain your frequency and allow the universe to coordinate the perfect moment. Let's go into the practice of living prayer. Most people think prayer is about asking for things, but true prayer is about communing with the infinite. It's about recognizing that every moment is a conversation between your consciousness and the consciousness of creation itself. Your gratitude is a prayer. Your appreciation is a prayer. Your peace is a prayer. Every elevated emotion you feel is a transmission to the field, and the field responds by echoing that frequency back through your experience. There was a shopkeeper named Elmer who transformed his struggling business not through strategy, but through sacred attention. He didn't recite affirmations or perform elaborate rituals. He simply treated every interaction as holy. When he swept the floor, he felt gratitude for the space. When he organized inventory, he appreciated the abundance of products. When customers entered, he silently blessed them. His entire day became a continuous prayer of appreciation, and the universe, receiving this constant signal of reverence, began responding with increasing abundance. Customers felt drawn to his store without knowing why. Opportunities appeared that he hadn't sought. His business flourished not because he marketed better, but because he had transformed his work into worship. This is the shift from transactional relating to sacred communion. When you recognize that every act can be an offering, every moment a prayer, you stop waiting for special occasions to connect with universal intelligence. You live in constant dialogue. And that constant dialogue creates a coherent field that magnetizes manifestations with ease. Here's what changes everything about how you relate to challenges. Most people see obstacles as evidence that manifestation isn't working. But obstacles are often the universe's way of redirecting you towards something better, or strengthening you for what's coming. Every contrast you experience is giving you information about your frequency. It's showing you where your signal needs adjustment. Someone named Trudy kept encountering the same type of difficulty in her business. Projects would start with promise and then hit unexpected roadblocks. At first, she thought she was cursed or that the universe was against her. But then she shifted her interpretation. What if these challenges weren't obstacles but feedback? What if they were showing her exactly where her frequency needed refinement? Instead of resisting the contrast, Trudy began thanking it. She would pause when difficulties arose and ask, "What is this revealing to me about my vibrational state?" Often, she discovered that beneath the surface, she was holding fear or doubt about her worthiness to succeed. The external challenges were mirroring her internal uncertainty. As she worked on clearing those patterns, something remarkable happened. The obstacles didn't disappear entirely, but they became easier to navigate. Solutions appeared faster. What used to derail her completely now felt like minor speed bumps. The universe wasn't punishing her with challenges. It was guiding her toward greater alignment through the feedback of contrast. This reframe is powerful. Difficulties are not evidence of failure. They're invitations to recalibrate your frequency. When you meet them with curiosity instead of resistance, they become accelerators of your evolution rather than roadblocks to your desires. Now let's discuss the profound power of authenticity in manifestation. The universe doesn't respond to the mask you wear. It responds to the truth you embody. When you try to manifest from a place of pretense, trying to be what you think you should be rather than who you authentically are, you create static in your signal. But when you show up as yourself, unapologetically expressing your genuine nature, you transmit a clear frequency that the universe can match with precision. A musician named Byron spent years imitating styles that were popular, thinking that's what would bring success. He crafted his image carefully, said what he thought people wanted to hear, created music that fit industry formulas. But nothing was landing. He was getting rejection after rejection. Then, exhausted from pretending, he stopped trying to be anyone other than himself. He created music that was raw, honest, uniquely his own. He stopped worrying about whether it would sell and focused on whether it felt true. The shift in his career was immediate, not because his skills suddenly improved, but because his energetic signature became clear. When you're authentic, you vibrate at a frequency that's unmistakable. And the universe responds to that clarity by bringing you opportunities, people, and circumstances that match your true essence, rather than your manufactured persona. Byron's authentic music found its audience not because he marketed better, but because his genuine frequency attracted genuine resonance. This is the liberation that comes from dropping the performance. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to be real. The universe celebrates authenticity because it's the clearest signal you can transmit. Here's something about the ripple effect of your frequency that most people don't consider. When you hold a coherent, elevated state, you don't just change your own experience. You influence the field around you. Your frequency becomes a reference point that others unconsciously attune to. This is why being in the presence of someone who's deeply aligned feels different. Their field impacts yours. There was a woman named Tessa who worked in an office filled with stress and conflict. While everyone around her was caught in drama, she maintained an unshakable center of peace. She didn't try to fix anyone or lecture them about positivity. She simply held her frequency. And gradually, the atmosphere around her began to change. People who were normally reactive became calmer in her presence. Conflicts that would typically escalate found resolution more easily. Her steady vibration was acting as a tuning fork, inviting others into coherence without her saying a word. This is true influence, not through force or manipulation, but through embodiment. When you maintain your frequency regardless of external chaos, you become a lighthouse for others. Your stability gives them permission to find their own. And as more people in a collective field elevate, the entire field rises. This is how individual transformation creates collective shift. The universe operates through this principle of resonance. Like attracts like. Frequency calls to frequency. When you hold a high, stable vibration, you naturally magnetize people, circumstances, and opportunities that match that level. You don't have to convince anyone. You don't have to prove anything. Your frequency does the work. Let's explore the architecture of certainty versus hope. Most people approach manifestation with hope. I hope this works. I hope I get what I want. I hope the universe hears me. But hope carries the vibration of uncertainty. Hope says, maybe it will happen, maybe it won't. Certainty, on the other hand, says it's already done in the invisible realm, and I'm simply allowing it to materialize. This distinction is everything. When you operate from certainty, you're not checking for evidence every day. You're not anxiously scanning for signs. You're simply living as if it's handled, because in the quantum field, it already is. Every desire you hold with clear intention and emotional alignment exists as a probability wave. Your certainty collapses that wave into physical form. Your doubt keeps it suspended in potential. Consider someone named Linda who wanted to manifest a major life transition. For months, she hoped it would happen, wished for it, prayed for it. But beneath the hoping was fear that it wouldn't come through. Then she had a shift in consciousness. She stopped hoping and started knowing. She lived as if the transition had already occurred in the invisible. She made decisions from that place. She spoke from that place. She felt the relief and excitement of it being done, even though nothing external had changed yet. Within weeks, the physical reality began catching up to her internal certainty. The transition that had seemed impossible started unfolding through a series of synchronistic events. The universe wasn't rewarding her certainty. The universe was responding to the frequency of completion she was broadcasting. Certainty is creative power because it eliminates the resistance of doubt. Now here's the invitation to deeper understanding. Manifestation is not about getting things. It's about becoming someone who naturally receives things. It's about evolution of consciousness. When you focus solely on the external result, you miss the real gift, the transformation of your identity. Every desire you have is actually your soul calling you to expand into a new version of yourself. When you want financial abundance, what you're really calling in is the consciousness of abundance. When you want love, what you're really calling in is the capacity to give and receive love fully. When you want creative success, what you're really calling in is the courage to express your authentic gifts. The external manifestation is just the confirmation that the internal shift has occurred. This is why sometimes the universe gives you what you need rather than what you think you want. It's not denying your desire. It's giving you the opportunity to develop the consciousness that can hold that desire once it arrives. The delays, the detours, the unexpected paths are all part of becoming someone who can sustainably maintain the frequency of what you're calling in. A man named Cliffy achieved his dream of opening a successful gallery. But instead of it being an endpoint, it became a beginning. The gallery led him to teach. Teaching led him to community programs. Community programs led him to public art projects. Each manifestation opened the door to the next level of contribution and expression. He never stopped creating because he understood that manifestation is not about arrival. It's about the eternal unfolding of your potential through form. This is the infinite game of conscious creation. There is no finish line. there is only expansion. Every desire fulfilled creates space for new desires. Every level reached reveals new horizons. The universe is not a wish-granting machine with a limited number of wishes. It's an infinite field of potential that celebrates your continuous evolution. And here's where responsibility deepens. When you understand that you're co-creating reality through your frequency, you become aware of the impact of every thought, every emotion, every belief you hold. You recognize that what you're broadcasting doesn't just affect you. It ripples out into the collective field. Your fear contributes to collective fear. Your love contributes to collective love. Your peace contributes to collective peace. This is not about burden or pressure. It's about recognizing your power and choosing to wield it consciously. Every time you choose to maintain your frequency despite external chaos, you're casting a vote for a different kind of reality. Every time you refuse to meet hate with hate, fear with fear, separation with separation, you're introducing a new frequency into the collective field. And that frequency has impact beyond what you can measure. The universe is not just responding to your individual signal. It's weaving together the frequencies of all consciousness to create collective reality. When enough individuals elevate their personal frequency, the collective field shifts.